Hey besties, let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? I figured it out. Besties, remember how I was so happy to get Gretchen back on the OC and then she fell flat for me? Figured it out. I liked Gretchen before Slade, not after Slade. It's very obvious that he is producing her very bad, badly, baby. And, he's put a battery in her back, and it only works when he's in close proximity of her. She's all the way in Amsterdam with Tamara without him. And honey, she has no anchor. She's falling apart. The battery can't charge back up. It's getting low. She's in the red. She don't know what to do. She needs to get out of there. She needs a lifesaver. Child, this is not Gretchen. Gretchen is the kind, sweet, fun girl. This old villain thing she's trying to do is not her. And that's what it is. Slade is producing her badly. But welcome, besties. You are now behind the shade, and thanks for joining me. I recap your favorite reality shows weekly. Now, baby, let's kiki and ha. And we're going to get into another episode of The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 19, Episode 16. What? Tulip service. Episode 16. Next week is the season finale, and then we go into the 3-part reunion. Where is Katie? Y'all really just was not going to bring Katie back ever? Oh my goodness, y'all. We made it to the end, and Katie, aw. The besties, how would you rate this week's episode? It was a thumbs up for me. It was good. It was cool. It was all right. But drop down in the comments and you let me know what you thought about this week's episode. And please like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel and make sure your notification bell is on so that you know each and every time I post my content. So the ladies are still in Amsterdam, and I must say, Amsterdam looked like it might be a vibe. But I just hate that we didn't get to see them have fun in the Red District. Remember last week they were leaving the restaurant and they were headed to the Red District, and they only showed us a little clips of them. And I get it, it's not family appropriate for TV. Wait a minute, Bravo is a cable network. I mean, we needed to see some stuff. Blur it out. I hate that we went all the way to Amsterdam with them and we didn't get to see what we wanted to see. Did nobody want to see nobody or no boat? What was the boat doing? No, we didn't care about no boat ride and decorating penis in the child. Wanted to go down to the Red District. So Heather plans a day in the tulip fields, honey. But first, truffle mushrooms at the hotel lobby before they leave. Honey, what Heather and Gina gonna do on a trip is get high. So on the way to the field, Emily, Gina, and Tamara ride together. And so they discuss how Gretchen is acting all nervous about Tamara and all this stuff. I said, yeah, because that battery pack in her back is going low. She don't have a charger. She don't have a lifeline. Slade is a long way away. She only can get activated when he's around. Remember all that smack she was talking to Tamara? But now, honey, Gretchen is folding like a chair. Honey, she can't get herself together because this is not her natural personality. Slade is producing Gretchen. And then they talk about how Jen acts like however you tell her to be. So they talking about Jen told them that Shannon told her not to go to Alexis's and John's wedding. Shannon, this is why you got a blister on your toe. You're late to functions. You can't get right. You're sitting in your blush. You can't get your makeup on. You're falling, you're scrubbing, you're tripping. This is why you are so worried about John and what John and Alexis has going on. You can't get yourself together. You don't even have a storyline this season because you are just trying to just be so mellow. And I understand maybe you need that time, but if I were you, I wouldn't be bringing them people's name up on this season. Like, keep their name out your mouth. This is why, your nervous system can't rest. You are injuring yourself. You're going to be in a full body cast still worrying about them people. You need to let go and live. Isn't Shannon like 61 years old? Girl, you ain't got much more life to go. You need to fill the voids. Do what you want. Find some hobbies. Make new friends. Go do something. I wouldn't even mind if Shannon left the show for just a season and come back differently. Maybe you need to heal off the camera. Maybe you're not really healing. Maybe you just need to do something different. Go to Bali. They say you get a lot of zen there. All that meditating and do that. Go to Bali. Did they go to Bali already? Child, did they go? Besties, let me know. Some cast went to Bali. No, that was Beverly Hills, I think. Right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, Shannon. And so then Tamara says, yeah, when you're friends with Shannon, you have to abide by her rules. Listen here, Shannon. Child, please. So Heather and Gina are at the tulip field and they're running through the tulips high as a kite. They seeing stuff odd. They're taking blurry pictures, talking about, yeah, that look good. And then Shannon is over here trying to climb some old statue horse. She got on heels, her boots, she got like 3-4 inch heels on her boots. And she's trying to climb up this big old metal horse in a dress. And I'm like, see, Shannon, this is why you are always, don't your toe hurt? Stay on the ground. Get down from there. You too clumsy to be climbing a horse with some boots on and a dress. Calm down. Did she take some edible? Oh, yeah, she's still high from yesterday. So Gina tells Heather that Shannon told Jen not to go to Alexis's wedding. And Gina is hot because she feels like, she was there for Shannon last season and she was struggling in her relationship with Travis. And, she just feels like Shannon has pushed her away. And so what is happening is Shannon is trying to find a friend in this group because it ain't going to be Tamara. Tamara just rolled her like a donkey last season, right? Her and Katie tried to become friends and that went left because Katie be lying. And so, now she's going to try Jen. Jen seems gullible. She's trying with the newbies. She wants a newbie to be her friend. She can't rock with the OGs because Emily and Gina, they have each other already. And Heather is Terry's friend. So Heather is no one's friend, okay? So now she's chummying up with Jen. And so then they talk about, yeah, she gave her that bridal shower, luncheon, and all this. And so later on, Emily says, what, Gina, you want a luncheon for getting back with Travis? I was like, she sure does. So they go to lunch after the tulip field. And Gina confronts Jen about going to Alexis's wedding and their friendship. And so Jen is like, she says, Shannon did not ask me not to go, but they rolled the tape. Shannon did ask Jen not to go. And Jen, so Heather's like, well, why aren't you going then? And so then Jen says, because Shannon matters. I said, okay. And so Shannon says she did not tell her not to go. Yeah, okay, Shannon. We all know you like Tamara said, people got to go by your rules. Tamara knows because she did it for a very long time, okay? and she ain't doing it no more. So Emily was like, well, are you okay with them being friends? And so Jen tells Shannon, I like Alexis, and I told you that. And so Jen is like, Shannon, your issue is your issue with Alexis because Alexis is pretty cool with her, right? She's like, that's your problem. And I don't understand why this is happening at these large ages. Like, we're not children. Your friend can be friends with someone that you don't get along with. It's possible. And how that works is you don't bring her up and then she don't bring her up. That's how that works. And why is Shannon? If we was gonna go through this, besties, Alexis could have stayed on this season. If we was gonna be bringing her up every episode, Alexis should have stayed a friend to the show. Like, goodness, Shannon, can you let this stuff go? They sued you, you lost. I mean, come on, girl. Goodness. So Shannon's like, she did some disgusting things to me, and it's just not easy for me to be friends with someone who is close to someone who's not kind to me. Well, then don't be Jen's friend. We'll give you that it's hard. Okay. So it's hard for you. Okay. Okay. You've been on this show long enough, Shannon. You could have brought one of your friends onto the show. Do you have any other friends? You could have brought a friend onto the show. You could have done it. You know, on Potomac, Giselle brings Tia on. Kiana brings Angel on. You know what I'm like? Come on, bring one of your homies. So Shannon judges their friendship, but she says at the same time that she's not a dictator of friendships. But you are, Shannon. And for that, you're not being a friend because you need to let your friend live. My bestest friend is still friends with my ex best friend. I don't talk about that other girl. I don't care. It's done. What's done is done and it's done. And me and my bestie, we have a time, honey. I allow her to be her. It's fine. Because you ain't really got much back to say about me. We are the besties. But at the same time, her and my ex-best friend, they don't hang out a lot either. They don't even hang together. I think they keep in touch by text. So their relationship has gone down the drain. But they still hanging in there. But yeah, I'm first. I come first. Okay. I come first. So where we at? So she says she's not a dictator of friendships, but she wouldn't be close to Alexis. If she was Jen, she said she wouldn't be close to Alexis. And Shannon, that's you. You're cut from a different cloth. Some people are like, and I get it. Some people are like, if I don't fool with her, you don't fool with her. Then Shannon, go find your tribe. They're out there. Go find your tribe. Because all this is just, it's childish. You're a senior citizen. So, child, then Gina says, tell her you didn't want to go to that shower. See, Gina over there high and running her mouth and making things odd at the table. So, Gina's like, what are you doing right now? Why are you, like, what is happening? Child. And so Gina is like, we laughed about it. We went shopping. We laughed at this shower she gave you. So Jen kind of feels like Gina is being rude. Like, you are being very rude. You're going to say in front of this lady that I don't appreciate it. I didn't want this shower. And you're not telling the whole story because I know Jen doesn't want anything similar to what she had from her first marriage. And it sucks because her parents gave her everything. They did everything. So it's going to be hard to make new traditions. And that's really what Jen wants. She wants different traditions. And I guess having a bridal lunch because you're engaged for over a year was something different. But Jen don't want to be celebrated. She just wants to get married. I don't think she wants nothing celebratory. I don't even think she wants the wedding because she just wants the kids there. Like she just want to just get married and be done. So Gina thinks their friendship is fake. And she like, wait a minute, I was trying to be your friend, and now you over there kikiing with Jen. But it's like, Gina, you're Emily's friend, so cut it out. But she said she was supporting Shannon last season when Tamara was coming for her throat every day, and she wants some darn credit. So Jen asks, what is the issue here? What is the issue? And so Gina's like, you're blindly rolling with Shannon. Whoa. Emily tells Gina to shut the F up. You are high and you've been running your mouth. And Emily is Gina's best friend, and your best friend can tell you to STFU. And she did. So on the way to the hot tubs, they got these boat with these hot tubs. I think this is Tamara's idea. Tamara, you don't make I just wait a minute. I said Amsterdam was a vibe. Why did I say that? Because they are getting into the worst activities ever. So they're about to go on a hot tub boat. So Gretchen talks to Jen about having multiple streams of income on the way there. And Jen is hearing Gretchen and she appreciates her, encouraging her to be more financially responsible. And honey, when she get home, she gonna do just that. So in the other van, Gina is apologizing to Shannon because she's high, lifted, and running her mouth. So Emily takes Tamara and Gretchen on the hot tub boat because this is the last attempt to get them to resolve their issues. Emily passes out these hats, and they got these old vulgar titles on them. So Shannon's hat says "Moisture in an Oyster." Jen's hat says "Throat Goat." Something fun, girls trip. But old prude Shannon, and I like it. No one likes the word moisture. Well, baby, I do. Moisturize your scalp, besties, huh? It's fall. The air is cold and dry. Moisturize your scalp. I like the word moisturize. Use moisturizing shampoo and conditioner. Uh-huh. So Shannon and the others are on their boat. Shannon is trying to drive the boat, honey, because she says she's a boater. She learned this from John. We bringing his name up. Then they pass by a bigger boat, and it's named Jansen, John's last name. So we have to hear about him one more time. So she's not getting it together because Shannon is clumsy and she can't get it together, and she trying to keep her foot off the foot of the boat because she don't want to get it infected, and she just being quirky and weird and clumsy and doofless, and Shannon would drive me crazy. Then Shannon runs into a bigger boat. Bam! They like, oh my goodness, back up, turn it around, go this way. Child, Shannon is just that nervous system. I'm telling y'all, stop thinking about John and Alexis. You can't get yourself together, Shannon, because you ain't never been this doofless. And you're just this doofless because you won't let your nervous system relax. You are just bumping your toe. You're just falling and tripping and not looking, not paying attention. Girls, get them people out your head. I guess with that lawsuit, she can't because she got to pay that man back all that money. That's what I'm saying. Take a break. Come back next season. Like, take a season off, Shannon. They'll be fine without you. Trust me. So Shannon's a boulder. I guess she got it together once she got it together, child. So Jen asked Shannon, are they okay? Are we okay? And Shannon says yes, but she questions Jen's honesty because she didn't think that her and Alexis was as cool as Jen said they are. And it's like, Shannon, you creating these narratives in your own mind. What you're doing is you're bullying Jen to not be friends with Alexis. And, Jen is not here for that. She got other things going on. Unlike you, she has a man. She got kids at home. She got kids leaving, growing up, dogs, a man, a wedding to plan. She's busy. You're pulling from her. And, Jen ain't got time. So Jen says, she doesn't want to hurt Shannon and says her and Alexis don't talk about her. Like, we don't bring you up. And that's the respectable thing to do on both sides. Alexis should respect Jen enough not to talk about Shannon to her. You have other friends you can talk about Shannon to. And Jen, you don't bring up Shannon. Respect Alexis. And Alexis respect Jen. And you're both respecting that Alexis and Shannon ain't cool. So Jen says Alexis has been an amazing friend to her. Oh no, we good. She's an amazing friend. And so she wants Shannon to treat her, like, just be cool. Just treat me the way Alexis treats me. Just be cool. So Emily asks if there's anything that Tamara wants to say to Gretchen. Honey, Tamara's like, no. Complete sentence, no. So she's like, well, Gretchen, what's up? She said, I'm upset for saying what I said to Tamara. And so Tamara's like, well, I thought we agreed to stop. And so then production shows Tamara not stopping. Remember at her house, she was pulling out receipts about Gretchen. And then Shannon started fussing at her, said, every time you come over here, you always got receipts. Yeah, Tamara, you don't stop either. So Tamara asked her what was her and Slade's intentions for coming for her at Emily's charity event. And so she was like, we heard you was talking about Slade some more. So what? Tamara said she was asked about him. So she like, get it right. I wasn't just talking about him. Someone asked me a question, I answered. So Emily says, it's just one thing after another with y'all. Like, then she tells Gretchen, as long as I've been friends with Tamara, she's never brought you up to me. Gretchen just folded. She folded. Okay. And so she's like, well, that doesn't mean she doesn't say things. And honey, Tamara looked at Gretchen and said, girl, you are irrelevant. Okay. Please stop. No one is discussing that 12, 13-year-old mess. You're irrelevant. Okay. So the others are looking on from their boat because, Tamara's so animated, so they can tell that they're arguing by the body language, right? They're like, ooh, who's over there winning? What are they saying? What's going on? Oh, they're getting into it. And so Emily continues to mediate, and Gretchen says she sees that she needs to recognize her part in this. So good, very good, Gretchen. You're taking accountability. So that lets me know that the battery, the Slade battery in her back has, is at 0%. So now she got to talk real. She got to bring it real. She is crying. She is breaking down. She ain't built for that. She's not a villain. Okay. So she says like she'll look into that. Like I'll look into my part in this. Yeah, because she said you kept up the BS without realizing it. So Gretchen was like, well, I want both of us to realize some things. Now don't put it all on me. It's like, girl, you this see this is why you can't move on. You're like, I'm gonna take accountability, but she got to too. Sometimes you just gotta show people. Sometimes you have to leave. Sometimes you gotta take an L. Sometimes you just gotta just do what's right. And that works because you're teaching Tamara how to treat you moving forward. You're being a bigger person. Sometimes you got to be the bigger person, Gretchen. Okay. So back to Jen's judgment about the back rent. Oh yeah, they bring up the Jen's judgment, about her rent on her studio. It resurfaced online. Tamara saw it. They all like, she's like, look, yes, we get it. It was the pan, it was the, the panorama. They didn't have to pay rent, but they put it on the back. So now she has a bill. It's like running a credit card. You got to make payments now that the panorama is over. She got to pay that old rent back. Okay, big deal. We know Jen ain't good with money. Why you think she over there with Ryan? So Jen is like, yeah, that's old news. And so she questions Tamara's intentions. Tamara feels if Jen would have just went to school or got a job in these last 5 years, she would be in a better place. But Jen chooses to spend all of her time with Ryan. And this is what she gets. This is where she is. But Gretchen, who has 6 streams of income, it has encouraged her to get herself together. So, child, in the van, Gretchen is crying because she don't want to hurt anybody. And they're like, you okay? What's going on? So Heather feels for Gretchen, and she's like, she's really like going down bad. And even Heather had said something leading to like, this ain't the real Gretchen. Like, she's a soft, sweet girl. Like, yeah, get to yourself and stop with that Slade mess, okay? Well, he's producing her, and it's not going well because she only can do things right and great when he's around. So they head out for dinner. Gretchen can't get herself together, child. She in her room crying. She is breaking down. She got 12 years of tears to get out, okay? So Jen left her. She went in there and checked on her. And she said, well, come when you get ready. I'm about to go. So Heather and Gina tell Tamara, they're in the van, they're telling Tamara, don't react to all this crying and stuff. Just let her feel how she feel and don't feel like, if you're doing anything wrong, and, let her go through her thing. So Shannon and Jen, honey, they bonding, they dancing and skipping to Malu in the middle of the marketplace, and all the Amsterdamians, if that's what they're called, they're looking on and smiling because the cameras are there. Then they stop for a drink. So, they're bonding. And so Jen is trying to match Shannon. She's trying to mate her up with this little 21-year-old bartender. And so Jen says she's a good wing woman. So she's like, yeah, Shannon. And Shannon's like, look, I am not a cougar. Am I? No. He's like 21. She's 61. 40 years. So he's like, yeah, what did it do, mama? You got money? How much? So that, of course, nothing happens there. So the others are sitting down there eating, and they just know that Gretchen went to her room and she called Slade, and she probably is still in her room talking to Slade. And so, yeah, that's exactly what happened. So she's talking to Slade, and so Slade is telling her, oh, well, okay, if you crying and you don't feel good about it, then so now he backtracking, he's trying to backtrack and agree with her and try to coach her into being her real authentic self now. Okay, well, since my plan didn't work, okay, just be your regular self then. It's fine. Child, please. But Gretchen doesn't trust that Tamara will move on. No, Gretchen, it's you that won't move on. It's you, honey. And if you don't want to move on, pack up your stuff and leave this trip now and go home and bring Katie back. Where is Katie? Jeez. So Gretchen appears 2 hours late to eat with the ladies. They're like, oh, hey, you want this hot dog? Oh, okay, here you go. Here. So then Emily asks Gretchen, does she want to talk like about what she's feeling? She says, no. Complete sentence, no. So Jen is like, so what is the emotion for you? So Gretchen is like, hate and just all the back and forth. And so Tamara says, well, she started it back up. Was it self-defense? She still did it. No matter what she did it for, she still did it. So Gretchen still has held on to these feelings, and they're festering again. They're rising to the top, and it needs to come out. So Shannon sympathizes with Gretchen, so does Heather. And I'm sure Tamara ain't liking none of that. And so she wants, so Shannon says, Gretchen wants an apology, but it has to be authentic, And so Heather says, everyone here has to be accountable. Okay. So Gretchen 100%. And then she tells Tamara, I am sorry for bashing you for the last 12 years. But baby, Tamara is over it. She said, yeah, you say that, then, and 2 weeks later, you do something else, and then we got to apologize to each other again because you won't stop. And it's like Gretchen says she don't trust that Tamara will move on. We don't trust that you will move on, Gretchen. And Tamara too. She's a digger. She dug up some stuff. So everyone wants them to move on because now Gretchen's toxicity is coming out, and maybe that makes room for a new start. So back at the hotel, Gina and Emily discovered that Gretchen might be fake. So child, she said she shows them a nice side of her, but to them, there must be something else. Because on social media, honey, they found a very disturbing post and Gretchen liked it. So I thought it was a post about Tamara because Tamara was all upset and blah, 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 blah. But baby, you know me, besties, I had to go investigate. So what it was, the post said something to the fact that being a homo is like opening the doors to being a pedophile. And it definitely is a version of being a perv. You guys get what I'm saying? I'll say it again. Being a homo, alphabet community is the gateway to being a PD file. Put that together, say it quick. And it's a version, it just spews of being a perv. Okay, you get it. Great. So, honey, next week they want Gretchen to explain herself, and Heather gonna get in her face because two of Heather's kids are in the alphabet community. So it's going down, and then the season finale is next week. Then we got a 3-part reunion, and honey, OC will be done, honey. But let me tell y'all, I found out Married to Medicine, the new trailer is out, and they kick back up. They start November 30th on a Sunday, but Potomac will probably be like halfway over by then. So that'll be good for me. Baby, reviewing 2 shows on a Sunday, yeah. I'm going to do one on Sunday, and then the other one going to have to come Monday night, baby. Yeah. So that was that. That was the end of the episode, besties. Don't forget to share my video, comment, like, subscribe, and make sure your notification bell is on. And I'll be back with another recap. I'm going to come back tonight with the Braxtons, baby. Okay. I'll be back. Bye, bestie.